So how do you stay productive when you're working from home? How do you keep a work-life balance? How do you avoid a mental exhaustion when you're working from home? Well, in this video, I want to share my top work from home tips to increase your productivity and avoid a mental exhaustion. And if you want to know my top 20 plus apps that you can use to amplify your productivity, then be sure to stick around till the end. And hey, if you're just meeting, my name is Singh and I help entrepreneurs launch mobile apps and scale their business. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because if you like to learn about starting your own business or launching your own app, then that's what this channel is all about. So why wouldn't you subscribe? Well, jokes apart, it's been a while since I've uploaded a video on YouTube and said hi to you guys. My bad, but in my defense, I've been busy working on this home office. Now, I've had the privilege of enjoying the location freedom for a few years, so I've been working from home for a while now, but there was no dedicated home office. So I recently decided to convert this room at my place into an office, and it turned out great, not just from the looks perspective, but from productivity standpoint. Having your workspace a little away from your bedroom or your living room, or probably have it on a different floor the way I have it, it turns out great from the productivity standpoint. But hey, if you don't have that option, that's okay too. I have worked from my bedroom for many years. If you gotta do it, you gotta do it. Now, prior to the lockdown, only a handful of companies were practicing work from home, and for most of the companies, it was a big no-no. But things changed in a snap. And given the current situation, it seems like work from home and virtual meetings is the new normal, and it's probably here to stay. So now there are many companies that are providing work from home full-time jobs and part-time jobs and allowing people to make money from home. So I wanted to share some productivity tips and a few apps that you can use to increase your productivity when you're working from home. Number one is to set priorities, and this one is important both for your work life and your life. I mean, life in general. A simple technique that I use all the time is the Eisenhower matrix. First thing that you do is to collect all of your tasks and assess them in terms of importance and urgency. You need to know what is urgent and important that needs to be done right away, while the other things that you can probably schedule for later, delegate to others, or maybe get rid of them altogether. While all of this may seem pretty obvious, but we get distracted so easily with so many distractions around us, we tend to spend our time on things that don't really matter. So you need to make sure that you're spending your time on things that actually matter. If you want to save your time, or you're an entrepreneur, then the number one focus that you should have is to first focus on automation. Can you automate those specific tasks? If not, then also focus on delegation. Can you delegate it to somebody else? Number two is schedule everything. Like, calendar is my best friend. I've tried a lot of to-do apps. I've given a lot of time to them, but unless and until I schedule a task in my calendar, it just doesn't get done. So my suggestion to you is to break your task into smaller chunks and schedule them in the calendar. And I'm not just talking about work related items. I go all in. I schedule my morning routine, I schedule my time with my family, I schedule my work blocks, and then I schedule my evening routine as well. And when I say work blocks, I mean I schedule my work hours throughout the day in bits and pieces, the times when I'm the most productive, and sometimes it goes on till late night. Scheduling the time with family is extremely important. You might think like, hey, who does that? But I feel it's an important aspect, because let's admit it, we get carried away with work. At least I do, because there's just always so much to do. So it's important to know when to cut off from work and then actually spend some quality time with your loved ones. And remember that it's important to share your schedule with your family as well, because it's important for them to understand and know when will you be working and when will you be free. And I also got to mention that I'm pretty flexible with my schedule as well. I move things around a lot. I have a 1.5-year-old son, And I gotta be honest with you, he doesn't give a damn about my calendar. And as a father of a toddler who doesn't understand what work is, I love that and I respect it. So I'm flexible from that perspective. And kids grow up fast. You don't want to miss out on the best years of their life. So you've got to be flexible. And remember, step one, you got to set priorities in life. Number three is dedicated workspace. Now, I understand that when you are just starting to work from home, it's tempting to work from your couch or from your bed. I've done that myself, but I realized that I'm at an all-time high with my productivity when I focus and work from a dedicated workspace. And try to work from the same room or the same space or the same desk and chair, because that will help you get into the right frame of mind. And using a desk and chair also helps with the right postures, and it also helps me pull off more work sprints. What are work sprints? That's the next point. Number 4 is the Pomodoro Technique. Now, this is an old but cool technique that I've been using for quite a while now. Now, Pomodoro is a time management technique which helps you break down your work into smaller chunks or sprints of 25 minutes, or you can customize them separated by the shorter breaks. I use this cool app for Mac called SprintCount, which is available at sprintcount.com. Or if you're not on a Mac, you could use this web app called PomoFocus at pomofocus.io. Now, I like the fact that these apps tell me to get up from my chair, because I have a tendency to sit for long hours when I'm really focused and working on something important, because I know it's a bad habit, because sitting for a long time can actually lead to premature degeneration of your spine, and it can result in chronic pain or worse. Pomodoro also helps me to focus on key tasks at hand, and focus is extremely important, which brings us to our next point. Number 5, use the focus mode. Whether we agree or not, phones is the biggest reason for the decline in the attention span of human beings. In fact, the average attention span is now 8 seconds, which is down from that of the goldfish, which is at 9 seconds. Focus mode is a cool feature, and it is built in some of the Android phones by default, and it is separate from that of do not disturb, so don't get it confused. A focus mode allows you to actually enable it, and then it quickly offloads all of your applications on the phone, keeping only a few active, which could be your phone or your messages. Now, if your phone doesn't have this feature built in, you could actually use an app. And that brings us to the next section, which is my top recommended apps to increase your productivity while you're working from home. First up is the Forest app. It is available both for iOS and Android, and I recommend using it. If you don't have the focus mode, this is a great app to try. It helps you cut the distractions and stay laser focused on your work, and you will actually be growing a plant and eventually a forest, of course virtually, while you will be completing your tasks. Next up is Noisio or My Noise. Now, both of these apps are cool, and they're available for iOS and Android and on web as well. And Noisio has a cool app for the Mac, which I mostly use. Now, these apps help you choose a background noise that can help you to be more productive. It could be anything from white noise to street noise to forest, rain, ocean, or cosmos, which I really like. You could also try YouTube and type in focus music or cosmos music. Those are free and I like them too, but these are dedicated apps that you can use. Next up is MindNode for Mac or iOS, or MindOmo for Android. These apps help you with the brainstorming sessions and help you convert your idea into a reality and visually see it in front of you. You could actually draw and connect the dots. So I think this is super cool and helps you put a complete picture, a brain dump onto your screen and have a visual impact of that. Next up is NTC, Nike Training Club, or 7, or Workout Trainer by Skimble. As you can tell, these are all workout apps, and they help you stay healthy, which in turn helps you be more productive. And while we're speaking of health and fitness, I also want to talk about Headspace, which is great for meditation. And another app is Calm, which is great for a good sound sleep. All right, let's get back to business. Next up is Spark. This is by far my favorite email client for Mac, iOS, and Android. And it actually makes you fall in love with email again, which is also their tagline. Next up is Todoist or Google Calendar. And as I mentioned, I personally prefer Google Calendar, but I've also used Todoist, which is a great app for task management, and both of these are available for all the platforms. Next up is Trello or Asana or Basecamp. Trello is a simple Kanban style list based web app for project management, and Asana and Basecamp are more aligned towards teams and client collaboration along with the project management. Next up is Clockify or Hubstaff. Now, these are both time tracking tools which lets you track your or your team's work hours, which is great if you're in a billable kind of a work setting. Next up is Slack or Workplace by Facebook. Now, Slack is a great and a classic team communications app and work. Next up is World Time Buddy or simply Google. If you work with international clients or have teams spread across the globe, then World Time Buddy is a nice visual time converter. But I always prefer Google for the simplicity because you can just type in 10 a.m. PST to GMT and you'll get your perfect answer. Next up is Zoom or Google Meet. Well, everybody's heard of Zoom over the past few months when we were stuck at home, and in response, Google came with Google Meet and Hangout. They actually made it free for everyone. Previously, it was part of their paid G Suite, and they're both great for video conferencing with teams or clients and for teachers for conducting the online classes. So let me know in the comment section below which app makes you more productive, whether it's part of this list or not, and which environment makes you more productive. Is it the home office or the office? And if you like this video, be sure to smash the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be notified when a similar video comes out in the near future. And do not forget to share this video with your friends who might find this useful. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video.